Today I'm going to try and explain how the inputs and outputs of a Bitcoin transaction work, and also how the miner fee is collected through the use of an analogy. So when Bitcoins are created by a miner mining a block, they are kind of generated like a single banknote. So back in the early days when you got 50 Bitcoins for mining a block, it's like the miner got a £50 note, a single piece of paper. And then if the miner wanted to send 10 Bitcoins to somebody else, the wonderful thing about the Bitcoin system is that they're able to automatically generate change. And what they do is they say, here's my transaction, I've got a £50 note, that's the input to the transaction, and then I want to transfer £10 to this person, and I want the other £40 to go back to me. So it's like they can take the £50 note and split it up into a £10 note and a £40 note, and then the transaction says the £10 goes to this guy and the £40 goes back into my wallet. So that's how the inputs and outputs work. Now, in order to get your transaction included in a block, these days you have to include a transaction fee, except you don't actually explicitly include the transaction fee. What you do is you say, here's the input to the transaction, my £50 note. I want to split it into a £10 note, which I'm sending to this guy, and I'm going to split the other part into a £39 note, which goes back into my wallet. And then you don't say what happens to the final £1. And that £1 is therefore kind of floating out there in space, and the next miner that mines a block that includes your transaction can grab it and include it into its reward. So when it gets the block reward, it also gets that unclaimed final little bit. So your transaction fee is actually not specified explicitly. It's sort of the leftover bits that you haven't said what's supposed to happen to them. Because you haven't said what's supposed to happen to them, they automatically become the transaction fee and get claimed. And that, in a nutshell, is how Bitcoin transactions and transaction fees work. Hope that helped. See you in the next video soon. Bye for now.